Okay, next let's use this template we've made for our pages here, starting with the resume page. So I'm going to open up resume, and let's go ahead and make a link to our new style sheet here. So I'll copy this one from layout, paste it in resume. Okay, now what we're going to need to do is make these 5 divs over on the resume page, and then decide where to put them, or decide what content to put into each of them. So let's do that right here. Nope, I forgot to copy. Layout, copy, paste. Okay, so in the header, let's put, I'm going to line break that out. Let's put our, these top level links, let's cut those, stick them right here. And let's also add our image. And actually, I'm going to put it above right here for now. Okay, in the left menu, let's delete that text and let's put in these in-page links. All right, notice I'm getting rid of some of those line breaks I don't need anymore. Let's see, where should we put our contact info? Maybe over in the right menu, let's do that. So here in the right menu, I'm going to break that out into a couple lines and stick that info. Shift tab, there we go. In the main body, let's go ahead and put the actual resume content. Well, I guess, and we better put this as well. I'm going to get rid of this comment for now. I don't think I need it anymore. Let's grab this paragraph and all of this, including this, back to the top here. And let's put this here in main body. Looks like I can tab that back. Okay. I've got all these paragraphs I made earlier for the sake of showing you the in-page links. I'm just going to delete those for now. I've got this footer div. What do I do with this thing? Well, a common thing people will do here is put in some very small text information about the page, like www.mywebsitename.com. Let's act as if this page is copyrighted. Remember when I taught you the entity code for non-breaking space? Characters that aren't on your keyboard, we use entity codes to represent those. So entity codes always start with an ampersand and end with a semicolon. And I'm just familiar with them, so I remember what this one is. That's going to give us the copyright symbol. We'll say 2018. And what else could we put right here? By Mark, or no, I forgot, I'm Homer Simpson. There we go. Okay, so there's our footer info. I like to make our footer text really small and centered and in a font that won't stand out. So I'm going to save that, go back to layout, or sorry, layout styles. And I'm going to make my footer, I'm going to add into this positioning here, font size, 8 pixels, color, some shade of gray so it doesn't stand out as much like this darker one we used, or I'll even do even lighter than that, 9s. And then text align center. All right, let's save that. Now, instead of layout template, we need to go to our resume page. I'm just going to change this to resume. Beautiful. So there's several things we're going to need to fix, but we'll do these one at a time. For now, just take a look at here. There's the info I put in my footer. And I noticed, this footer is really way too tall. I didn't even need 50 pixels. We could make this something like 25, but that's all right. You can do that on your own later on. Okay, so let's deal with some of the issues we're having. First of all, our image is too tall for the header. And notice that because of that, it gets tucked back behind this one, the left menu. Well, why is that? That's because the left menu still, even though it's positioned absolute, meaning it ignores all other elements in the page. Because it comes after the header in our code, by default, it's going to overlap. It's going to cover up this one above it. So this brings up an issue of how do we choose when layers overlap? How do we choose which one shows up on top? So that's the purpose of a z-index. Let me show you how that works. Let's pick one of these. In fact, let's use the header, and let's set the z-index to any number greater than 1. Let's set it to 2. And in the left menu, let's set that one's z-index to 1. Not pixels, sorry, just 1. So a z-index specifies the order that these should be laid down on a page. So if we were actually taking physical pieces of paper and putting them down on a page layout, which one goes down first? If the left menu goes down first, then that means the header goes down second. That means the header will show up on top of the left menu if there's overlap. So save that, refresh it, and there's Homer overlapping, and you see those, what do you call it? I'm going crazy. Our menu options, our navigation. Why are they showing up down here? Well, that's because, remember several videos back, when we introduced block versus inline elements, I said an image is an inline element, meaning it doesn't force a hard return after it. So these items are on the same line as image because there's no hard return afterwards. So what I want to do, I kind of like Homer overlapping that. I want to move this submenu down, and then I want to move these somewhere up here to the top or somewhere else. So we're going to learn 2 more commands or attribute value pairs. First of all, let's move. I'm going to come back here to resume, and here in my left menu, I have all of this. I need to make room for Homer's legs. So what I'll do, how about let's add a padding. So padding is between the border and the content. Let's use what we learned about box model in the last video. And let's add right here padding, but only to the top. I don't want it everywhere. Let's make it 75 pixels and see if that does it. So let's save that. There we go. Push that down. That's kind of too far. Let's make it 35 should do it. No, that's not enough. Notice how there's definitely some trial and error here. 40 should do it. Okay, but I want to move these up. So this is where we're going to learn how to do a div inside of a div. So come back here to the code, and in our resume, right here is where we've got the image and then those 3 menu items. I'm going to enter this down and put a div here in as well. Grab these, put it right here. Why does it always move them in? Oh well. And actually, before I do this class, I think instead of a div, I'm actually going to use a span. Sorry, change that along with me here. Span, and we're going to use. Let's make a style for it here. Let's call this one dot sub header, and we're going to give this one some styles, but let's first go back and connect it before I forget. So span class equals sub header. All right, and then we're going to use a technique here called float right. And just so you can see where this appears, I want you to go ahead and put in a border solid 2 pixels, and we'll make it lime. Nope, lime green. There we go. That'll be easy to see. All right, save that. Take a look at it, and here we go. Perfect. So float right tells it to go as far as you can within that div that it's in, and ignore everything else on the page, and everything else will wrap around this. So let's go ahead and get rid of that border now that it's showing up exactly where we want it to. All right, border gone. Save. Beautiful. Okay, we've got our primary page navigation here, our within the page sub navigation here, which isn't doing anything because right now it's all fitting on one page. That's all right. Don't worry about it. If this gets long, then it'll automatically move these things up. But that's enough for now. I'm going to save out a couple more things for the next video.